It was not there in the early Ṛgvedic period. This particular river was not there. In the middle Ṛgvedic period also, this river was not there. So in the late Ṛgvedic period, this flow started coming like this, a temporary flow. And even today also it is not there. Because after the 10th Mandala period, again it disappeared. So this is a kind of a temporary phenomena. Like if you want to understand what is a temporary phenomena, like for example, in astronomy, the planets are very permanent, right? There is Mercury, Venus, Earth is the third planet, then Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, even Pluto, which is now demoted as a dwarf planet. But all these planets are very stable. We are seeing it for lakhs and lakhs of years. But occasionally some comet will come. So even some comets are like Halley's comet, they even have predictability. So they will come. Halley's comet will come in around every 75 years or 85 years, like that. Periodicity is 75, 85. But there are certain comets which are like once only, they will come only once. That you may be seeing it in the sky and for a temporary period and then they disappear. They will not return back. So river also, some of the in the river dynamics also it's similar. Like I compare the river dynamics with the astronomy. So there are very stable rivers, and some rivers are like just like that. Like just they these rivers flow for 100 or 200 years and then they disappear, and mostly they never come back. So that is the kind of river that is Marutrutha is. So it was a temporary flow of the Jalam river. I use the word Jalam because now you understand the river as Jalam, right? You don't know any kind of dynamics in the past. So today, if you look at it in the map, you will only see the Jalam River. That is the today's name of the river. Again, the one of the this Jalam River is the Kashmir River, like coming from Kashmir Valley. So this Jalam River is the current identity of the river. So from the if I tell with respect to Jalam River, things will be more clearer. So when I say the Jalam River's fourth Mandala channel is the Vibali channel. Jalam River's most permanent channel is the Vitasta channel. These are the most permanent channel. And earlier channel was this Vibali. Older channel of the Jalam is the Vibali River. So it was active in the early Ṛgvedic period and the middle Ṛgvedic period. So early Ṛgvedic period, there is no mention of the river because people have not reached here. But we were just coming from the Haryana to slowly to Punjab to the Pakistan side of Punjab, etc. So the absence of this river in the early Ṛgvedic period, because we have not at all reached that point, and its presence in the middle Ṛgvedic period because that is the time the people have come here to this side of the Pakistan. They're very close to Sindhu River. Up to here, they got familiarity. The rishis become familiar with this much region, and they know this river as Vipali. And then somewhere in the middle Ṛgvedic period, during the fourth Mandala period, this become highly unstable. Floods came, and then it becomes stable again, and start flowing. This current flow of the river, Jalam River flow. And somewhere towards the late Ṛgvedic period, when I say late Ṛgvedic, it's like 8th Mandala, 9th Mandala, 10th Mandala. Somewhere in that period, a temporary flow of the river, same Jalam River flow, is like this. It came like this. And that river is the Marutrutha. So all the things are getting resolved. Now, why Marutrutha is not mentioned in the early Ṛgvedic period? Answer is the river itself is not there. Why Marutrutha is not mentioned in the middle Ṛgvedic period? Still, the river is not there. It is not born. And in the late Ṛgvedic period, suddenly this river is formed as a second flow of the with Jalam River, a second channel of the Jalam River. It flows. By 10th Mandala, end of the 10th Mandala during Mahabharata period, some period of this like Vichitra Virya or Chitrangada or Dhritarashtra, Pandu or Pandavas and Kauravas, this river is no longer there. It's disappeared. Now, what is remaining? So you can see like in the satellite maps, this temporary river's channel is still, you can see it. That is all thing that is remaining of the Marutrutha river. So of course, I am now talking about the multiple rivers here, but because Vibali is a very complicated thing, so I have to mention all these rivers. So in this little bit of the Marutrutha, I have already covered in this particular in this particular talk. So basically, it's a very kind of because the Vibali, if you look at my chapter about Vibali in the book Rivers of Ṛgveda, it's all about river dynamics. So that is the most important part of this river actually. Very, very puzzling river, but it resolves so much of once you understand it, once you grasp it, it resolves so much of confusion, so much of like the migration scenario, that whatever Talagri's migration scenario, but it become much more clearer because we resolve the riddle of Vibali or riddle of the Jalam River. The Jalam River is supposed to be known to the people. So, for example, if you look at the Talagri's books, two books, which is focusing on the migrations, in that this particular part that is not resolved because because this particular thing any Western scholar can actually question because you are like we are talking about the progressive migration of the people from Haryana to Punjab, then to the Parushnia Signal region, that is the eastern side of Pakistan, and finally to the Indus region of Pakistan, to the eastern side of the Indus. But then you don't see a very important river during the fourth Mandala period when they were close to Indus, when the familiarity reached up to Sindhu River. You are supposed to know about Jalam River. Where is the reference to Jalam River? So I am able to give that in the rivers of Ṛgveda that Jalam River is represented as Vibali, and the Vibali name got gone into like the name Vibali slightly got lost in memory by the late Ṛgvedic period when the river became known as Vidasta, the change river. That is the river Vibali changed its course, and the new course is called Vidasta, and that become dominant name of the river in the 10th Mandala period, and that is why 10th Mandala you get the Vidasta river. Jalam River is represented Vidasta in the 10th Mandala. In fact, Jalam River is represented by two rivers in the 10th Mandala because during the 10th Mandala period, the main course of the river, that is the Vidasta course is there, and a temporary river course emerged. That is the Vidasta's second course also emerged for a temporary period, and that is Marudvrita also is there. So in the middle Ṛgveda, Vidasta, the Jalam is represented by Vibali. That is in the fourth Mandala, the Jalam is represented as Vibali. The Kashmir River Jalam is represented as Vibali in the fourth Mandala. And in the 10th Mandala, this Kashmir River Jalam is represented by Vidasta and Marudvrita. So three rivers. So because when I talk about Vibali, I have to talk about these three rivers. In fact, it is the same river, but one is an old channel, and the other two are new channels. But of course, one of the new channel is a permanent channel. Another new channel is a temporary channel. Old channel name Vibali, new channel name that is Vidasta and Marudvrita. Out of which Vidasta is a permanent channel. Even today, it is that Vidasta channel is there, and Marudvrita channel, which is a new channel, is a temporary one. But in the 10th Mandala period, we had both the flows. That is why we have the Nadi Sutta. When you look at the Nadi Sutta, you have Asikni. After Asikni, you have Marudvrita. You have Marudvrita here, and then Vidasta here. Because the river was having two flows at that period, 10th Mandala period. And then after what happened? After 10th Mandala, what happened? Marudvrita disappeared. Only the channel remains. You can see in the satellite maps, you can see the Marudvrita channel. But Vidasta is still flowing. So that is that river currently we can see. So today, if you say Jalam, that is Vidasta. Like that. But this dynamism was there in the Ṛgveda. It is well captured actually. Now there are some etymologies like Vibali. It means a weak Vibali. There is a not clear etymology, but I have mentioned in my book that Vibali means the river which lost its Bala. So means it's because the river slowly, like if you see this channel here, once the flow low, the entire the water of the river flows like this. What happened to this channel? The flow of the water flow in that channel getting weaker, and finally dried out. That is the meaning of that is Vibali, that Bala, that the Bala of the river, the water flow is slowly, gradually declining. So the river name actually captures the geological, river hydrological information. So it's an encoding of the river hydrological information. So this particular single line, that is a fourth mandala, 30th sutta, 12th rig, contains so much of condensed information, lot of geological information, river hydrological information, everything. And they have compressed that information into the names of the rivers. So Sindhu is anyway Sindhu, but Vibali, a river that slowly disappeared because water starts flowing through this channel. And what is Vitasta? The river, the changed course of the river. So everything is captured into the words in this rig. And it's very powerful and very interesting as far as geography is concerned. River hydrology is concerned or geology is concerned is very important. And it solves so much of riddles. Huge amount of riddles in the migration scenario, that is east to west migration scenario. Completely, all the puzzles are solved. The puzzle of Vitasta, puzzle of Vibali, puzzle of Maridrutha, or the puzzle of Jalam River, where the Jalam River's presence in the Rig Veda completely resolved by this particular this analysis. And then see both this fourth mandala, the sutta discussing about Sindhu, Vibali, and this is still not a noun. So, but with a sthanam, that is changing the position. So that containing the two rivers as well as the third river hinted through a verb. And this particular 10th mandala sutta, Nadi sutta, the correct ordering, everything correct becomes correct, totally correct without any kind of ambiguity, 100% completely correct and resolved. So with that, I complete my course, and then we look for some discussions. Okay. So I got one question in the text chat. So how to introduce actual chronologies to the uninitiated? Yeah, I think maybe the actual chronology by which you mean the chronology mentioned in my book, The Rivers of Ṛgveda. And it is a chronology that is followed by so many other people like Srikant Talagiri, for one, Dr. Conrad Elst, or if you look at many archaeoastronomers, like the people who date Mahabharata. So it is like many people think that the Mahabharata using astronomy principles. If you date the Mahabharata, it is always you get something like a 5561 BC date, or the dates falling in 3000 BC to 3200 BC. But it is not true. The same methodology, so many astronomers have used the same methodology of archaeoastronomy. That is, what is archaeoastronomy methodology? Look at some of the verses in the Mahabharata, which is describing the position of the planets, like Shani, Guru, or Buddha or Shukra. And then in the Mahabharata, very close to the Kurukshetra war, Veda Vyasa has looked at the sky, and there is a complete chapter about which is the planet located in whichever close to whichever stars. So, for example, Shani, the planet Saturn is located in a particular star. Guru, Brihaspati, or Guru located in another star. And it is also mentioning about the position of Mars. All the 5 planets, that is Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, the 5 visible planets. The location of that planets with respect to the nakshatras, that is Revati, Vishakha, Ashwati, all these 27 nakshatras. So which that is mentioned in it, in the Mahabharata. So what is astronomy doing? That is dating methodology of astronomy, dating methodology. They will simulate this particular condition, like in which part of which year in the past, or which date in the past, all these planets were in this so and so locations mentioned in the Mahabharata. So many laymen think that no, there is only one solution. That is not true. That is where the scholars as well as the general public is having a difference. So the laymen think that after solving this particular puzzle of where the planets will be located in a particular, that they will get a unique date. That is not true. When you this is like a equation which you solve, you will have multiple solutions. So it's like a multiple solution equation. because the planets are rotating. No, every planet is having its own orbital period. It rotates, and these configurations appear quite often when you search in the past centuries. As a result, because it's a periodic kind of a phenomena, so periodic phenomena keep on repeating. The pattern is mentioned in the Mahabharata, but the pattern repeats. So it repeats in around 5000 BC period. It repeats in between 3000 and 3200. The same pattern repeats. Again, it repeats after 2000 BC. There is this pattern repeat couple of times. In around 1900 BC, 1800 BC, then again 1500 BC, again 1400 BC, etc. So when you have so many number of solutions, which one you select? Because astronomy, you solve all the problems, and then you get the dates spanning in multiple centuries in the past. So that is actually, now I'll rephrase the question how to introduce actual chronology to uninitiated. So this is how, so you have to triangulate it with something else. Astronomy dates will give you so many dates, starting from 5000 BC, 5500 BC to 3000, 3200 BC, again 1900 BC, 1800 BC, 1500 BC, 1400 BC. Even there are some people who solved the same problem and got 1200 BC also. So astronomy currently, as it stands today, it will give you Kurukshetra war date based on the position of the planets with respect to the stars, exactly mentioned in the Mahabharata, but subject to some interpretation variation. From 5500, 5561 BC, that is Nileshop date, onwards to Dieter Koch date, which is 1200 BC. That much big range dates are there. So what I do is I triangulate with archaeology. So the archaeology, the Dr. Sanjay Manjul, who have discovered the Sinoli chariot. So he's not a small fish. He's assistant director of Archaeological Survey of India, associated director of Archaeological Survey of India. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he also become director also. But he is a very high position. That is almost can be the authority of Archaeological Survey of India, because he is associate director of ASI. And he has made a lot of studies on the archaeology without doing any astronomy thing. Totally different discipline, that is archaeology. Based on that, he has Sinoli chariot. He has dated to around 2000 BC, etc. It's a kind of a solid wheel chariot with spokes which are attached to the solid wheel. So slightly older chariot than a spooked wheel chariot, on its way to become a spoke wheel chariot. And in the Mahabharata, the spoke wheel chariots are mentioned. The chariots have a little more advanced technology. Chariots are used in the Mahabharata. So his Sinoli chariot is dated to around 2200 to 2000 BC, with plus or minus 100 years here and there. Because archaeology will give you a kind of, it's not a pinpoint date kind of thing that archaeology will give you. Archaeology will give a range of dates, because there is a variation in the dating methodology. Not dating methodology have some variations, like it's less state of flux. It will have a kind of accuracy variation, accuracy differences. So you cannot date anything which is accurate to a date. So archaeoastronomy will get pinpoint dates. So you can get, because after resolving the astronomy, the position of the planets and with respect to the star, the final result is a date. Like in this year, in this month, in this date, Kurukshetra war starting occurred. After 18 days, Kurukshetra war ended. So archaeoastronomy give a pinpoint date, but archaeology will give a range. That is from this year to this century, it have happened like that. And both are valuable, right? Just because archaeology is giving a range doesn't mean that it is not valuable, because you have so many dates coming. Even though astronomy give you very, very sharp dates, you have so many of them. So then it is only archaeology which will help you to resolve it. So based on the chariot evolution technology, so Sinoli chariot dated to 2200 BC to 2000 BC, and then extrapolating that evolution of the chariot, Dr. Sanjay Manjul said 1800 to 1700 BC is the most likely time period where Kurukshetra war can occur, because that slight change in the the chariot configuration, because little more advanced chariots within 100 years it will start coming, it will emerge. And this is a proposition, because there is a chariot already discovered which is dated to between 2200 to 2000 BC. So by looking at that chariot, you can anticipate within 100 years the technology will evolve a little more further, and you will have chariots like the chariots mentioned in the Mahabharata. Because what is the Sinoli chariot? What is that? It's a chariot in which typically only one person can stand. Of course, two people can stand. I mean, two people can, but the charioteer Sarathi has to be inside the cabin itself. There is no separate seat for the Sarathi, right? That is a Sinoli chariot. So it's a little bit primitive chariot, but compared to whatever is described in the Mahabharata.